Hello and welcome to the weekend wrap. It's been a massive round of footy. Josh is with me this week. How you going, Josh?
I'm good, mate, and yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. It's been a big round of footy, as I said, so let's get right into it. The first game of the round was on Friday night at Etihad Stadium between North Melbourne and Geelong, where North Melbourne won by 10 points. For North, Wells kicked 4, Bastanak 3 and Adams had 2. Leading disposals, Harvey 37, Mullet 32, Hanson 30 and Adams had 25.
And for Geelong, Steve Otlop kicked 3 goals, Nathan Vardy and Mitch Duncan kicked 2 apiece, while Steve Johnson picked up 28 disposals, Jimmy Bartell picked up 25 and Corey Enright and Joel Selwood picked up 24.
The next game of the round was on Saturday afternoon at Scotty Stadium between GWS and Melbourne, where GWS won by 37 points. For the Giants, Cameron and Ward kicked 4 apiece, Smith had 3, Whitfield 2 and Giles had 2. Ward had 31 disposals, Traylor 30, Scully 29 and Whitfield had 26.
And for the Demons, Watts, Dean Kent and Jack Fitzpatrick all kicked 2 apiece, while Nathan Jones picked up 29 disposals, Cameron Pedersen 23, Jack Viney and Mitchell Clisby with 22 apiece.
Next up, also on Saturday afternoon at the MCG, was Hawthorn vs Richmond, where Richmond won by 41 points. For Hawthorn, Piopolo had 2, he was the only multiple goal kicker. Leading disposals, Smith had 29, Mitchell 26, Savage 21 and Burgoyne 19.
And for the Tigers, Jack Rewalt kicked 3 goals, while Luke McGuire, Shane Edwards, Matthew White and Dan Jackson kicked 2 apiece. Trent Cotchin picked up 34 disposals, while Bashir Hooley picked up 28, Brett Delidio 27 and Dustin Martin 25.
Twilight game at Patterson Stadium between West Coast and Gold Coast, where West Coast won by 17 points. For West Coast, Kennedy kicked 5, Hill had 3, Schofield had 2 and so did Delzeal. Leading disposals, Scott Selwood 27, Hutchings 25, Wilson 24 and Delzeal had 23.
And for the Gold Coast Suns, Alex Sexton kicked 3 goals, while Harley Bennell, Gary Ablett, Nathan Bock, Campbell Brown and Aaron Hall all kicked 2 apiece, while Dion Prestia led the way with 28 disposals, Bennell and Ablett with 27 and David Swallow with 21.
Saturday night at Etihad Stadium between Carlton and Fremantle, where Fremantle won by 36 points. For the Blues, Tui had 3, Garlett 2 and Henderson also had 2. Leading disposals, Scotland 31, Simpson 30, Walker 26 and Robertson 23.
And for the Dockers, Michael Walters led the way with 4 goals, Ballantyne kicked 3, Hill, Neal and Subban all kicked 2 apiece, while leading the way with the disposals, Nathan Fife with 30, Michael Barlow with 26, Lockie Neal with 24 and Tendai Mzungu with 21.
The other Saturday night game was at the Gabba between Brisbane and St Kilda, where Brisbane won by 31 points. For the Lions, Merritt, Rich and Staker kicked 3 goals, while Hanley had 2. Rockcliffe 39 disposals, Redden 32, Adcock 29 and Hanley had 27.
And for the Saints, Nick Rewald, Ahmed Saad, Tommy Lee and Lee Montagna all kicked 2 apiece, while Nick Del Santo led the way with 31 disposals, Armitage 30, Montagna 28 and Lenny Hayes with 22.
Moving on to the Sunday games now, the first one was at Etihad Stadium between the Western Bulldogs and Sydney, where Sydney won by 35 points. Grant kicked 3, Campbell, Gian Siracusa, Dixon and Stevens all kicked 2, while Griffin had 41 disposals, Liberatore 33, Cross 32 and Cooney had 30.
And for the Sydney Swans, Kurt Tippett kicked 6 goals, while Jed Lamb, Craig Bird, Jude Bolton and Kieran Jack all kicked 2 apiece. Kieran Jack picked up 30 disposals, as did Jared McVeigh. Daniel Hanbury picked up 22 and Luke Parker 21.
The showdown at Amy Stadium between Adelaide and Port Adelaide, where Port Adelaide won by 4 points. For Adelaide, Dangerfield and Johnson had 4 apiece, while Wright and Petrenko each had 2. Crouch picked up 28 disposals, Vince 24, Wright 22 and McKay had 20.
And for Port Adelaide, Chan Wingard kicked 5 goals, Hartlett and Gray kicked 3 apiece, while Schultz and Monfries kicked 2. Corns led the way with 31 touches, Boak 29, Hartlett 25 and Wingard with 24.
And the final game of the round on Sunday afternoon at the MCG was Collingwood vs Essendon, where Collingwood won by 79 points. For the Pies, Cloak kicked 5, Elliott and Reid each had 3, while Blair kicked 2. Sidebottom and Swan each picked up 30 disposals, O'Brien and Petterbury had 27 each.
And for the Bombers, all kicking 1 goal were Comer, Bellchambers, Melksham, Hardingham, Goddard, Delalio and Gumbleton. The skipper Joe Watson picked up 31 touches, Goddard 27, Myers 25 as well as Hooker.
Moving into the ladder now, where Hawthorn are still on top despite losing to Richmond, while Sydney move up a spot to second position. The Cats dropped to third following their loss to North Melbourne.
Fremantle takes Essendon's spot in the top 4 after their win over Carlton, while Collingwood and Richmond have exchanged places after both having big wins.
Port Adelaide are now 2 games clear in the 8, with Carlton and North Melbourne now looking unlikely to make the cut in 9th and 10th respectively.
Adelaide dropped to 13th after their loss to the Power, while GWS are still at the foot of the ladder after notching up their first win of the year.
Moving on to the Coleman Medal now. Josh Kennedy takes the lead after a bag of 5 against Gold Coast, taking his tally for the season to 59, while Jeremy Cameron continued his good form with 4 goals against Melbourne.
Jack Riewoldt and Travis Coate kept pace with the leaders after 3 and 5 goals respectively, for a total of 53 for the year. Thomas, Hawkins and Petrie could only manage 1 goal each, while Nick Riewoldt rounds out the top 10 with a total of 41.
And that's about all we have for you on the weekend wrap. Thanks very much for watching. Be sure to tune in to the Round 20 podcast on Friday afternoon.
We'll have Paige Cardona with us, and Matt will be back this week where we'll have our full panel for the first time. We hope to see you then.
His name's Josh. I'm Nick. See you next time.